First step, we're gonna go ahead and remove the radio unit in here. Go ahead and use the radio removal keys. I'm using this one for this specific radio. So insert them into the slots right here until you hear them click, and then use the keys to remove the radio, like so. And go ahead and disconnect all of the connectors. Take a picture of all of these connections just so you know which ones you've had in here prior to disconnecting them. But you're gonna go ahead and undo all of these connectors back here just to remove the radio unit. That's one. That's two. That's three. This one comes out, and then you can pull this one out. This one also has a white tab. That's 5. Next up, go ahead and remove this side panel right here. Next, there's several screws to remove. Go ahead and start with the bottom ones first. There's one right here. There's another one right there. 2. Remove this one over here. 3. 1 inside of there. 4. 1 in here. All the way in the back. Let me get a flashlight so you can see it. That's screw number 5. And then lastly, the ones up here, 6, 7, and 8. Now that we removed the 8 screws, let's go ahead and bring the glove compartment down. Start forcing it down through here. Go ahead and bring it down slowly. And then from here, you're gonna want access to the main harness. So go ahead and pull that through. And also this pink LVDS. This is for our LVDS to connect to. Let's go ahead and connect the main CarPlay harness. This portion right here, the female end, will connect to the original connector. And then this end of it will feed through in here so it can connect to the CarPlay module when we're ready, to the factory radio. Next is the LVDS cable. The white portion of it will connect to the CarPlay module when we're ready to connect it. And then there's two other ends right here. The male end, go ahead and feed it through. We'll connect that to the factory radio. The female end will connect to the original LVDS connector. Go ahead and find a place for the Wi-Fi antenna. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick it on the glove box, but you want to mount it in a place where it's not obstructed by any heavy metals or plastic. This place is okay too, so I'll just put it right here for now. Go ahead and route the CarPlay USB AV cable. I would go ahead and usually make sure this cable is accessible to the customer for wired CarPlay. I'm just gonna have it positioned right here. Behind this area. So that way, in case the customer needs to connect, the CarPlay USB will be right there for them to connect to. Let's go ahead and set the dip switch for the CarPlay module. This is a 2018 Audi A3. So according to the manual, I am going to set 1, 2, and 3 in the on position, leave 4 and 5 off, and change 6 to the on position, 7, 8 leave off. To get the right dip switch configuration for your year model car, please refer to the installation manual. Let's go ahead and make the connections to our CarPlay module. Once we're done, I'm gonna leave the CarPlay module resting here. But let's go ahead and make those connections first of all. CarPlay USB/video AV cable you'll want to connect to right here. And then on this side, go ahead and connect the Wi-Fi antenna. You have the LVDS on this side. And then you have the CAN cable coming from the main radio harness. You would connect that here. And there you go. I'll go ahead and clean up these connections. Place the module here. And go ahead and position the glove box back up again so we can get ready to reconnect our factory radio. Finally, go ahead and get your factory radio. You're going to reconnect all of these connectors. Our new CarPlay harness will connect here. The yellow to the yellow port. Our CarPlay LVDS will connect to the pink port. And then reconnect the remaining connectors. And then once all of these are connected, go ahead and reinsert the CarPlay module back in, and we'll be ready to test. Okay, now that CarPlay is installed, let's go ahead and quickly test it. I have an Apple phone, so I'm going to use the lightning cable. I'm going to connect to our CarPlay USB. We installed it today in this area right here. It's wedged in that little section right there. So I'll connect my phone cable to it and then the cable to the phone. And as soon as you connect it, you'll notice that it starts charging. The screen will switch and then CarPlay will show up. It's going to ask us 2 questions on the phone. Do you want to allow CarPlay with GP link while the phone is locked? This is a privacy question. It's up to you. I'll press allow. Second question is important. This is where the customer can choose whether they want to enable wireless or use USB only. So as a manufacturer, we always recommend using USB only. We can also test enable wireless, but again, for the customer, they can choose this. I'll also add another quick tip here. For the customer, whoever is a primary driver, I recommend that they set up the wireless. All other people in the car should use USB only, so that way the phones aren't competing for a wireless connection. So I'm gonna press enable wireless CarPlay. We'll test that. if you select wireless CarPlay, leave your phone connected for about 2 to 3 minutes. After that time, go ahead and disconnect it. The connection will go away, but then the wireless setup would have been completed at that time, so it will just connect on its own wirelessly. So again, let's test it. Use a knob down here to control the CarPlay. We can switch back and forth. There's 2 ways to do that. Press and hold the nav button over here in the steering wheel for 3 seconds, and the screen will switch. Press again for 3 seconds approximately, and the screen will switch. Another way you can do it is by using this button right here. You have to flip the switch downwards towards media. So press once to switch to OEM side. Press and hold to switch to CarPlay. Press once to switch back into OEM. Press and hold to switch into CarPlay. So those are 2 ways to switch back and forth. Let's test the reverse camera while we're in CarPlay. Put it in reverse. Put it back into park. It should switch back. Let's test sound. For sound to play through the car speakers, make sure that you are in the aux side. Let's press menu to get out of that screen. So we'll go to media and make sure you have aux selected. So now CarPlay audio will play through the car speakers. Now in the kit, there might have been an AMI cable supplied, but this car doesn't need it because it doesn't have an AMI port. So just simply make sure you're in aux mode and you will hear CarPlay audio through the car speakers. So let's go ahead and switch back. Press and hold. Let's play a song. You can control the volume here. You can also control the volume through here. We can change tracks here. Next. I believe you can also change tracks with this. Just shifting the knob this way and that way. Let me test this real quick. So just 2 ways to, 2 ways to change tracks. You can push this way, or you can just manually select it here on the screen. So 2 ways to switch tracks. Let's go ahead and test Siri. For Siri, I recommend that you use the menu button here. So scroll over to it and then push down on the knob to select it for about 3 seconds. Hey Siri, take me to the nearest gas station.
The closest one I see is Valero on Red Hill Avenue. Is that the one you're looking for?
Yes.
Getting directions to Valero.
So you can do that. Let's go.
Starting route to Valero. Proceed to Red Hill Avenue, then turn left.
You can also test it for to send a text message or whatever. Hey Siri, send a message to Daniel.
What do you want to say to Daniel?
What's for lunch? Question mark.
It says, what's for lunch? Send it?
Yes.
Done.
So you can test it that way. Let's also test phone calls. For phone calls, let's make sure we are on connected to the OEM Bluetooth. Mine is. If you need to set up the Bluetooth, just go back to the main menu and set it up through here. But again, my phone is connected, so let's go ahead and make a quick test call. I'm going to use Siri to make calls. Siri will automatically have it go through Bluetooth. Hey Siri, call 714-258-0400.
Calling 714-258-0400.
So it's important that we make the calls that way, so that way it uses the original Bluetooth to make the phone calls. You can also check on your phone and you see e-tron is the original Bluetooth.
Hello.
Hello, I'm just making a quick test call. Can you call me right back, please?
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye. So that's the best way to make a phone call. When you're receiving a phone call, press the OK button here on the steering wheel. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, that's it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. Bye. So just press on the OK button to receive phone calls. Use Siri to make phone calls. I think we've tested all of the necessary functions. So let's go ahead and delete our connection to the CarPlay. Before we do that, let's test the wireless. It's been connected long enough. So as soon as you disconnect it, you'll see the CarPlay logo show up right there once it establishes a connection, and then it will load. Make sure you have both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on your phone in order for it to connect wirelessly. I'm just gonna cancel this. Let me make sure my Bluetooth and Wi-Fi are on. They are. If it doesn't connect, that means that the setup wasn't complete. So go ahead and just reconnect your phone and leave your phone connected for another minute or so. And then after that time, you'll go ahead and try disconnecting it, and then you'll reconnect it, and then it'll check to see if it connects wirelessly. Really, there are no other functions to test. You just want to make sure those are working. Let me see here. You do want to go into this menu right here. Press on exit. Access the setup. And then go ahead and scroll down. It says here using Cars BT phone. Make sure this is in the on position. Other than that, I think that's it. So that way when you're receiving a call, the only way to answer would be through the OK button. So let's go ahead and try disconnecting again and test the wireless setup. CarPlay logo is showing up right there, and it is complete. Perfect. Let's go ahead and delete our connections to the CarPlay. Go into exit. Go to CarPlay and go to BT Reset. BT Reset will delete all of the wireless connections on the CarPlay module. And then go to your settings. Go to General, CarPlay, GP Link, and then press on Forget this car. So now your phone has forgotten about the connection to the CarPlay, and the CarPlay has forgotten about your connection to the phone. So now you're free to set up another connection from scratch. Before you deliver the car back to the customer, delete your phone from the Bluetooth menu, but you should be good after that.